Well, how y'all doing? Derby Jack here. It's Saturday. As you all who have been following me, I've been redoing a lot of music, and I'm purging a lot of music off the my music channel. So anyway, uh, if you're angry at me for doing certain songs, I'm going to try to keep certain songs up there I know certain people like, but I'm purging a lot of stuff. So if there's stuff you like, you better download it because you're not knowing what I'm purging. But anyway, and I'm redoing the song. So anyway, I've been doing a lot of reading in the Old Testament. I've been doing a lot of uh, movie watching, Old Testament movie watch. Joseph. Moses. You get into all the prophets. Ezekiel, and you get into all of them, and you're starting to find out something. You know what I really found out? That the Israelites, the people, for God to have chosen them, they were the most rebellious group of people that God could have chosen. That's they. If you were to say that they were the best of the crop of that God chose as His people, I'm going to tell you right now, y'all history, y'all a bunch of troublemakers, y'all a bunch of pansies. If you look at the history of Israel, they're always under occupation, always having to cry out to God because they hoard themselves out to other gods. Yet God called them a whore. When it came to Hosea, if you ever sat down and read Hosea, God said, you need to get that whore and you need to take her off the street and marry her. And I want you to see this is what's happening in Israel. I got to take Israel back and because they hoard themselves out. So as far as I see Israel at right now, the people who are occupying or the people who say they're the Jews, they're the people of God, well, y'all still a bunch of troublesome people. Okay? Like I said, I didn't vote. I don't vote for my oppressor. Okay? God gave me freedoms. My freedoms are not tied into the obedience of whether I'm under a union or whether I'm under democracy. I don't tie my freedom there. You all do. You all have, that's your narrative, that's your world, government, So anyway, Trump, all this other stuff. And the stuff that's coming out right now, you got Sylvester Stallone, and Trump and, Elon Musk. And what the hell, man? Y'all need to wake up. But getting back to what's going down, because remember, big backer of what's going on in Israel is going to be Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump loves his Israel. He loves his Jews. He's a Zionist, man. Jesuit. He's into all this. That's where his heart is. Oh, you thought his heart was in America? Oh, Trump doesn't care about the red, white, and blue like you. He's an actor. That's part. But anyway, getting back to what I've seen in the Bible, what I've been reading in the Bible in the Old Testament, like I said, y'all Israelites or Jews of today, whatever, you all are acting just as rebellious, just as whoredom as they did back in the Old Testament. So as far as I'm concerned, y'all haven't changed your colors. Actually, you're a warmonger. You for a small country, you got the biggest armament. You're supposed to even be bigger than or better than America. That may not be a problem because we got a bunch of people in military now with press on nails and earrings and all kinds of changes. Anyway, what I'm saying is we're running out of real men anyway to fight a war. But here's the thing: they're warmongers. They always have been. And when God told him to go do something, of course, if God told him to be a war, that's there. But right now, it just seems to me that they're more trouble than they're worth. And why do we have to keep spending money to give to them? We got to back Israel. Tell me why. Why? Do you not understand if you're a Christian? They hate Jesus. They hate everything that Jesus stands for. But yet they want you as your church, your little Baptist church on the corner or your Presbyterian church. They still want you to make sure that money is given to them so they can fight their wars with their enemies. But doesn't it seem to me that every time I read in the Old Testament, every time they went anywhere, even when you get to the point of Abraham and stuff, in the father of all nations, his sons were ruthless. Then you think of Joseph, right? They didn't like him because he was the father's other son. They didn't live up to their father's expectations. They all so they had him, they traded him. They sold him off, And of course, if you read that more of that, you'll find out a little bit more about what happened to old Joseph. But it always seems to me that it seems like wherever the Israelites ever went in the Old Testament, they always got themselves in trouble and always had to come back to God because they became little whores. So as far as I'm concerned, y'all would not accept Jesus, but you want the Jesus money. You want the money that comes from the people who believe in Jesus. Now here's the thing. It's not that you want that money and you're getting it. What's the stupid thing is that Christians are actually giving it to you. And that's what doesn't make any sense. They are against Jesus. If it was up to them, they'd crucify him again, and they'd spit on him. That's what they think of the Jesus in which you love, the Jesus in which you have misinterpretations that's inside of you. I love and respect the Jesus who walked on the earth. But what really means more to me than the Jesus that walked on the earth is the Christ that he gave me after he went back to his Father. And when I confess Lord Jesus, I got the power of the Holy Spirit of Christ. So, in saying that. But like I said, y'all got to understand what's coming. Y'all have not been given the understanding of the Abrahamic Accords. You don't understand what that all represents, and that's what is going to be implemented, and it's going to affect the whole world. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what the Abraham Accords are. If you don't know by now, why are you a dumb cluck? If they're not telling you that on CNN and Fox Network, why are you not calling them up and asking them why? Or are you just such a dumb cluck you don't know any better? Because most of you Christians out there don't seem to know any better. You listen to what other people tell you what a Christian's supposed to be, and you're not paying attention to what God wants you to be. And a lot of you are always wanting to appease each other and appease the world more than you want to appease God, because you don't know what it means to appease God. You've lived such a stupid, foolish life, even as a Christian, most of you. And in the last year of what I've seen, or last 4 years, with all this belly aching of who's president and this and that, you know what? We could have gotten rid of all these idiots. All we would have had to have done was stop complying. Anthony Fauci would have gone away. Stop complying. Maybe he would have. And maybe Bill Gates would have gone away. Stop complying. The Economic Forum. Okay, and Klaus Schwab and his little mini-me, the guy who wants to rewrite the Bible with AI. Maybe if you didn't comply, if businesses and corporations didn't comply, maybe, and the UN, if we didn't comply, just maybe, all these a-holes would have gone away. But no, you've complied. You've complied this last time. You guys went out, registered to vote. You put your John Hancock on whatever, and now you've made an oath. Actually, you under-oathed God, because didn't you make an oath the day you confessed Lord Jesus? Now, you people aren't born again. Then, you did the right thing for you, because you're earthlings. That's all you'll ever be. You're going to probably die an earthling. And what I mean by that isn't a very good thing. That means that you were born in the earth and you're going to die in the earth. Okay? And the earth right now is polluted and everything. So you'll be going back to the pollution in which it caused, or allowed to be caused. You and your generations before you, who've allowed to have all this crap happen. Now, here's the thing. You're all sitting here saying, well, Trump said everything's going to be better. Yeah, you're going to have your lower prices. Lower milk, lower eggs, lower gas. It's all going to look good. But I've said it before. The price is too high. The price is too high. Why? Because you gave up your souls. You gave up your freedoms that God gave you, and you put it back in the hands, just like Adam and Eve did when they put the deed of the earth in the hands of the serpent, right? That means that they gave over the deed that God gave to them over to someone else, and now they're renters. So we're renters, okay? You're a renter. You don't own shit. So you Christians that think, well, we got to bring... You don't own America. Yeah, you and your forefathers, you had forefathers who probably died in World War I, World War II, you know, all that. What's it matter? Korean War, Vietnam, what's it matter? Look at where we are. We're a divided country. We got people on one side who are mentally depressed, who are probably going to commit suicide if it goes any further. You got other side right now who thought they won, and they're a bunch of pompous asses thinking that their shit don't stink. So as far as I'm concerned, both sides are mentally disabled. I mean, you're mentally I'm mentally disabled. They have no stabilization in what they think. They worry about little things, and they're stupid. They have no knowledge of anything that makes any sense because they've been brought up that way, brought up to be ignorant. Welcome to America, the land of ignorancy. Welcome to America, the land of stupidity. Welcome to America, a land that rolls over and lets everybody else just walk on top of them. That's what you've done. And now you think because you got your strong man in, everything's going to get better? This is just the beginning of sorrows. And you haven't even stepped into shit yet. But it's coming. They're getting ready to destroy. Apparently, I'm in a new neck of the woods with the Madrid thing that FEMA's got all set up around the country. They're gonna set off. They're gonna set off the Madrid. They're going to destabilize it like they've destabilized your brains, and they're going to sit there and cause earthquakes, and people are going to die, and FEMA's going to do shit like they've always done. And y'all are just going to sit there and believe that they are. I'm up to here with a world of stupidity. I really am. I'm up to here with people who give away their souls, and they say they're Christians, professed Christians, and they've already given away their souls, and I see it every day in everything that you all do. I see it. The way you act, the things you... If you were a Christian and you voted, you're a stupid person. You have no knowledge. I'm sorry, you have no knowledge because you're not paying attention to the things you should be. You're worrying about lower gas prices, and what brings lower gas prices down is that you got to start working with things that are up higher, which cause it. But here's what's funny. When Trump is now going to be in the next couple months, people are already dropping prices in certain places. How do you do that? That means it was artificially shoved up anyway. That means that you artificially lowered it. So why do you need Trump if you can artificially higher and lower the prices? Just because of the promise it, the idiot being in office. What if something happens and he flatline? You know, he's laying down horizontal on a street somewhere. I can't say the words because he'll... But anyway, FBI will come in and break down the door and think... But anyway, let's say it happens. What are y'all going to do then? Your strong man is laying on a street. Your strong man is laying on a Your strong man is now no more. What are you going to do then? Because that could happen. It could happen. I'm not saying it will. It just seems to me that the government is showing itself as I wouldn't put it past them to do that. If they already put it past, you can't put it past what they've already done with the fake assassinations. I mean, so come on, people. You're going to have to wake up sooner or later. You know, it all looks good. You know, you're taking a whiff outside. It seems to smell good, but you still got chemtrails coming down in the rain. You still got poisons being put on your foods and chemicals in your foods that Mr. Gates old Billy, even old Anthony, Fauci, they're all in on it. They like to put things in things, and make sure that people, and they want to make sure your immune system is in good shape, right? So you can be strong and healthy. Remember Mr. Gates, one of the famous words he said, was that we could do a real good job if we just, we can do a good job with vaccines and stuff, and lowering the population. We could do a good job with vaccines in lowering the population. That was one of the words he said. One of the things you take it as you will. You can believe what you want. I'm just letting you know that's what he said. You can find it. Now, you read into it what you want. A lot of people like to use excusogenics, so they don't have to believe. They want to believe their narrative. So that's a new word of mine, excusogenics. So if you use it, remember, I get credit for it. Derby Jack. So anyway, they like to use excusogenics, like the moon landings. We know they didn't go to the moon. Most of us, a lot of people are still waking up, and other people won't wake up because they're Neanderthals are still evolving and believing in evolution and stuff. So anyway, so they believe we did a great thing. We're human monkeys who were able to go to space and go to the moon. But we can't do that no more because we're stupid. We lost the technology. It's just too hard to do it. But we're going to go to the Mars. These are the things they say. You guys read into it what you will. Because, I'm just a conspiracy theorist, and the things I say mean nothing, right? I'm just a little peon in a corner of the world, I'm a nobody. But you like to listen to the nobody. You like to listen to the ones who are in the know, right? The ones who say they're in the know. You want to listen to a recording artist, Yeah, I'm a recorder. I consider myself a recording artist, but yet the things I sing about are the same things I preach about. So, I have a right. But most of them out there, they preach on, we want to save the world, but they're preaching, they're singing songs about taking life, singing songs about degrading themselves. But yet they want to be superheroes, but yet they look at their own world as being dark and gloomy and black stuff. What's all this black stuff peeling and going into the mouths and stuff like? And then they like to take baths on film. Why they like to take baths in milk, I don't understand. I don't know how vitamin D gets into the pores, or sometimes blood baths. Why they do that? And then you got to figure out where to get the blood. Why children are missing and babies are missing and. But anyway, but you take that as you will. It's up to you and how you want to register stuff. You can be a cognitive dissonant, or you could be cognitively thinking. Allowing yourself to grow mentally. But a lot of you, I understand, you can't take it. It's just too much to bear. You can't take that maybe Donald Trump isn't what he says. You can't take it. You'll know when the gas prices go down. You'll know when chuck roast goes down, and then you'll know, right? But you don't know because there's other things that they do behind the curtain that you don't know. Not to mention when the biometric thing is established by yours truly, Donald Trump, right? So it'll be, that'll be implanted. And then you won't be able to buy, some of the stuff like, you won't be able to buy, the next door neighbor's, used car because you don't have cash on you. Yes, right. You'll have to do it. And you'll have to pay taxes. He'll have to pay taxes. Everybody's going to have to get a piece of the money. You can't do anything under the table. So when that comes in, what are you going to do? You can't go out and buy your pot anymore for $20 because it's going to be on record. And then if they're selling pot and the government's not getting, their taxes off the pot you're selling, then you're going to be arrested and go to jail. And dollar bills won't be anything but wallpaper, or maybe you might use it to wipe your whatever. But otherwise, there you go. There's your money is going to be gone, and you'll be on a credit system. Then they'll decide what your credit will be. But that's just hearsay. Don't take it from a conspiracy theorist like me, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Of course, a lot of you think you do. So you watch your CNN, you watch your Fox Network, and you go ahead and you just do your thing. Your strong man's in. The other side, like I said, they're mentally disabled right now. There may be a lot of suicides coming, so you need to be ready for that. And the other side they're just gone because their noses are so up in the air. They're acting like the elites. You got good old boys sitting there drinking their Budweiser and sitting there saying, see, we got a man and they can't do, and, all this other stuff. And yet, what have you accomplished? The hillbillies are still hillbillies and the lefties are still lefties, and nobody's accomplished shit. Hearings will still go on in Washington. Nobody will accomplish shit. Like they always do. They sit there, make their paychecks by sitting there and wearing out chairs that they have to upholster every 6 months, because these big fat elites and congressmen and stuff like that, they have to go out and send for the best wool and the best Peruvian leather to reupholster these chairs, and they're at like maybe $800 to $900 to do this, not to mention getting the upholstery and stuff, right? So now, not only are you paying an idiot to wear out a chair that you have to reupholster, you're spending more money on that chair. Is he worth it? Because nothing ever happens in these chambers. Whatsoever does anything ever happen in these chambers, except your money constantly being spent. But anyway, you didn't hear that from me. I'm just a conspiracy theorist. You just take that as you will, and you move on, and you live your good little American life. You put your flag up there right on your porch, and you tell everybody, we won. We got Donald Trump in, and the world is better for it. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. When peace breaks out and all hell breaks out, then you keep telling yourself that. And maybe, just maybe, this little idiot that you're listening to right now underneath this derby just might come to the forefront of your face. And you either are going to hate me or you're going to wish you listen to me. But like I said, you take that for what it is. But anyway, so you hear my thoughts of Israel, right? You hear my thoughts of the Jews. I don't think very much of them, okay? They're a bunch of crybabies. All they want is people to protect them, and all they do is do things underneath. And then there are a bunch of bankers. What they don't want. I mean, the guys in control want for nothing. They got money. The Rothschilds are backing them. I mean, and UN is backing them, and so apparently America's backing them. They got all the fucking money in the world. They don't worry about anything, right? So anyway, so be ready. The Madreas fault is going to be destroyed by the military complex or FEMA, and they're setting up charges and all kinds of stuff and stuff. And there's going to be many people who will die. Probably in my area. Apparently, one of the most dangerous areas is going to be Ohio, in the area that I'm in. So they're going to take out probably my area. So just keep me in prayer. But anyway. Just remember, the military complex is your enemy. The United States government definitely is your enemy. And that guy that you think that is your hero right now, that you placed as and his running mate isn't Vance. It's actually Jesus, apparently. I've seen pictures. It's revolting. It's an abomination. You got Jesus, a picture of Jesus with his hands on top of Donald Trump's. It's the most revolting and most sacrilege thing I ever seen in my life. And I think people need to take that and get rid of it. Burn that picture, because that is an abomination against God. Oh, that just burns me up when I see that stuff. You all are crazy, man. You all are. This is just too much. Derby Jack out. Hope to see real, born-again, spirit-filled Christians go where I'm going. See y'all on the other side.